Now, our next inductee has a long history in professional wrestling. He's won countless championships, countless trained wrestlers under his wing, and about 88 different versions of the Lightfoot driver. So, to induct Jeremy Lightfoot into the Hall of Fame, please welcome to the stage Maddie Monarch, Wild Child Billy Diamond, and Jeremy's son, Austin Lightfoot.
One more time, with feeling, right?
A little speed would be nice too.
Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, man. Before we start, when did you get so damn big and tall? I mean, y'all remember Austin, right? Shoo. Man.
Well, Dad gave you all the height and strength.
Yeah, but he gave me all the talent and good looks.
Fair enough. Jeremy Lightfoot. You know, Malenko is the man of 1,000 holds, and Lightfoot is the man of 1,000 Lightfoot times. And I've experienced about 50 of them. When he came to Broadway Training Center for the first time, I understood the worry of someone trying to steal your spot because he was younger, he was high flying, quite simply, he was better. And the thing about Lightfoot, he's not there to steal spotlights. He's not there to steal spots. He's there to elevate. And he doesn't only elevate the locker room, he elevates the entire organization just being on the card. His legacy will stand forever, and we were the most heated rivals, but ended up becoming the best of friends. We even became tag team partners. And there are those people that you can't help root for. Jeremy is one of those special people. And when his music hits, no one stays sitting. I was going to list his accomplishments and accolades. You see, his legacy will continue on quite well. So I am proud to call this man my friend and my brother, and I am proud to welcome him to the Hall of Fame. And let's hear from the next generation.
Hi everyone. Bear with me, I am a little nervous. I'm like shaking in my boots right now. Please don't disown me if I mess up this speech.
You got it, baby girl, you got it.
A lot of you have probably seen me before and probably know me as Lightfoot's daughter, but I am here to tell you that that jig is up. I look nothing like him, I'm not tall like him, and I definitely don't have his big Italian nose. But nevertheless, I would like to say that Jeremy has been somebody who came into my life as a stranger, and we were working for a local wrestling company at the time when I was 16 years old, and they had offered us to become a father and daughter duo, and I said no. The first time I said no. I said I don't want some random stranger being my father. No, thank you. And then eventually, throughout time, I met him in person at one of these shows because he actually wasn't living in the state. He was living in Colorado. And he added me on Facebook and we started talking back and forth, and he decided that he wanted to move back here and he wanted to pursue wrestling again. And I supported that, and I told him, you know, I know that my friends and I would love to have you here. We would want you to come here, teach us, show us the way, guide us. And he moved back and he came to CHWA. And I didn't have that glorious upbringing where I went to a wrestling school. I started out as a 15-year-old kid in high school with my friends in a backyard with a ring and a passion to pursue this dream. And that always got negative responses from people. But Jeremy opened his heart up to me, and not just to me, but to my friends. And I'm eternally grateful for that, because regardless if Jeremy is biologically my dad or not, which he's not, but you're my dad, and I love you. I will always be your kid. I don't care that, you're not wrestling anymore. I do feel a little selfish and sad because I thought I would have more time with you, that I would be able to pursue this dream further with you. Why am I getting emotional? But I love the fact that even though that your chapter in wrestling has come to a close, that I have you as my dad for the rest of my life. And my friends are grateful because you opened up your heart to us. You introduced us to people who were just like you, who were willing to love us, to be blunt, and tell us what we need to fix, and give us a chance. That's all we ever wanted, was to have a chance, and you and everybody else that you introduced us to gave us that chance, and we, as a group, are grateful for that. And I always loved ripping everybody in the locker room. People would look at me and say, "Oh my gosh, I remember when you were just a baby in diapers," and I'm just... Are you thinking about my brother? But nonetheless, we've ripped people for years, and if some of you are sitting in the room, I'm so sorry. But I enjoyed every moment of it. I'm grateful to have shared my time with somebody who is creative, who is willing to teach, who was willing to help us in any way that he could. This man worked full time, and the only time that he had was his weekends off with his son, and he would be at the venue with us the night before our shows on Sundays, in the ring with all of us, teaching us stuff, helping us age in matches. And I feel like had I never met you, I probably would have not had the opportunity to meet all the other amazing people after you. And I'm really glad that I was able to have you as a parent and to share this dream with, because my parents weren't wrestling fans. They don't understand it. They don't feel it like I do. And I hope you look back on this time in your life, this chapter, and that you're proud of yourself, because you got to help a lot of us. Even though you're going to say, "Oh, I didn't do much. I didn't do anything." But you did. You gave us a chance. And I'm really grateful for you, because every time that I would have a show and I'd look out to the crowd, I looked for you. And I will always be grateful for you, Dad. Thank you.
How is everyone tonight? I am a little nervous right now, but we'll get through it. Most of my friends grew up with a dad that was a BFF. Now I grew up with a dad who was a BMF. And my dad can beat up all her dads. My dad has won 39 titles in this business. And out of those 39, 2 of those titles were the most important in his career. The RCW lightweight title and the MMWA heavyweight title. His hard work gave him the chance to hold both of them on numerous occasions. I grew up watching my parents wrestle, and it was amazing to see what they can do. When I was younger, I remember my dad taking me to the training center for the very first time. I remember my dad sorry, I just said that. I remember my dad running the ropes. And you can actually sing the tune of "We Will Rock You" as he tested the ropes. For almost 21 years of my life, I was able to watch my father chop his way to this very day. As a fan, as his manager, and his tag partner, it is our honor to welcome into the 2025 Hall of Fame his tag partner, our father, my dad, the Native Nightmare, Jeremy Lightfoot.
foremost, I'd like to know whose idea was to have Welcome to the Jungle play. As everybody knows, I hate that song.
It was wasn't me.
I always make fun of people that cry at these things, and damn it, Maddie. Oh. And then Jim just channeled his favorite Frank Reed and said, "We're putting you on the mic, make it quick, we're short on time." You did. So I'm gonna get rid of the stories, because everybody knows the wrestling stories, you kinda had to be there. I wanna thank John, Austin, and Maddie for that induction. That meant more to me than you will ever know. I wanna thank the board for doing this. As I said on Facebook the other night, I've known this was coming for a year, and you would think processing for a whole year, this would be easier, and it sure as hell wasn't. I want to thank my dad, Doc Lombardi,
Hell yeah.
for showing me the National Wrestling Alliance before the Three Stooges came on. And then I had the honor of going down to the old Checker Dome, show our age here, and watch the NWA live. I want to thank Frank Root, because without Frank, there was never going to be a Jeremy Lightfoot. I thought it was the dumbest gimmick ever. I'm a big-nosed Italian from North County. There was no way in hell you people were going to believe I was Native American, but Frank made it work. To all my trainers who didn't give up on me when I couldn't get it. Pete, I'm sorry, I still can't figure out that badass hammerlock into a top wrist lock. Sir, you were the master of that. I gave up years ago on that. To all the workers that stood across from me, tagged with me, refed, or managed while I was at ringside, putting your life in my hands and trusting me, I'm grateful. And for all of you that laid victim to that 88 versions of the Lightfoot driver, I thank you for putting me over. To the 7 people at my table, when I moved back to this wretched hole we call misery, I wouldn't have made it without all of you. All 7 of you have been my rock. Sadie Blaze, when we used to have those late night bookings where you and Chris Exodus wouldn't let me sleep until 4:30 in the morning knowing I had to be at work at 6. You said something that, to be honest, you had no idea how much it hit my heart when you and all the other members of GCW were the top. And you told me that you guys were just emulating what you saw me doing down at Broadway. That meant something to me, because that meant that I helped inspire the greatest damn wrestling organization to ever hit this country.
Hell yeah!
For all of you that were fans, whether you booed me when I was a heel or cheered me when I was a baby, we did it for you. Without fans like you, the St. Louis fans, there is no reason for us. And I appreciate you treating us like all the other people treat the big time in the WWE. We were your WWE and NWA, and we appreciate you. My father always told me, if you're going to end a speech, end with a quote. And I wanted to quote one of my heroes in wrestling. For all that I've done wrong, I must have done something right. Thank you.